What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? How's everyone's day going so far on Monday? Got like 2 weeks before school starts, so I'm kind of grinding videos right now, trying to get as many out as I can. But it's kind of hanging out with a lot of friends right now as well. Uh, Let me know if you can hear me. Okay. Um, I think you can see me. I know you can see me. I don't know if you can hear me. I hope you can. Um, but yes. W- uh, my fault. So to be honest, my power went out yesterday. It was rough, and I couldn't cancel the live. So wait, no, that was 2 days ago. I had this live scheduled. My power went out, couldn't start the live. My Wi-Fi was out, everything was out. So unfortunately, I had to cancel the live. So now I'm doing it now. Finally, what's up, KNK? I thought that was something else for a second. What's up, world? How you doing? What's up, Jim Tim? So basically, um, uh, not Cody, but I appreciate it. I don't know who, Spike or something. I don't know. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Basically, I want to hear everybody's part two theories. I have some part two theories of my own. Answer some chat questions. Talk about part one. We talked about it for like 40 minutes last time, I believe, and it just wasn't long enough. I wanted to talk about it some more. I just didn't have all that much time last time, and to be honest, I don't even have that much time right now. But I just wanted to chat with you guys for a little bit. What season six part two theories do you guys have? How do you guys think the whole Tory issue evolved? I'm very interested about that in specific. Kwon might injure Dimitri. I've seen some people say that on Twitter a little bit, but yeah, that's a very interesting theory. I could definitely see that happening, and then Dimitri goes out, and maybe they bring in Kenny or somebody like that to replace him. Even though Devin should be the one that or that Kenny replaces, because we all know Kenny should be there, not Devin. What's up, Oli? Yeah, let's be honest. Devin should not be at the Psych Attack guy. She cheated Devin out of it, so it is what it is. But yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to talk about while we're here with chat. What did you guys think of Terry Silver not being in season six at all, or season six part one at all? He was not featured. Nobody talked about him all that much. I mean, he was talked about for sure, but there was no uh, there was no like big scene with him. Thomasine Griffith wasn't in it at all. Do I think he'll be in part two and part three? I think he'll be the cliffhanger to part two, and he will have a big part of part three, a big part in part three. But it does stink because I love Terry Silver. I think he's one of my favorite villains of all time, and I obviously wanted to see him in part one. We didn't get that, unfortunately. But I'm not all that frustrated by it though, because it builds his character up. I thought we'd at least see a scene of him in jail, but we didn't see anything. All we saw of him was like his mugshot and some other things. But yeah, it wasn't really talked about all that much. Silver as a whole just was not talked about all that much, which I was not gonna lie, I was partially disappointed by. But I think Silver will have a bigger role in part three, and specifically in part two. I think he'll be the cliffhanger. That's my guess for Terry Silver. Let me rechat. Someone who commented on my video says he was in the behind the scenes of Cobra Kai part two. Oh really? I watched Cobra Kai season 6 part 1 at Walmart. What? At Walmart? How do you watch whatever? How do you watch that at Walmart? I do think Terry Silver will be a problem in part 2 because Marcosa Kreese had to deal with him. That is true. He could definitely be a part of part 2. I think it'd be a cool cliffhanger, or he could have been a cool cliffhanger for part 1. But if he's in part 2 and he has a major role in part 2, I'm definitely not going to be the one that's complaining. Just call me Kai. If you saw the image with Miguel with the cat. Oh, um, part one was good. Let's not talk any leaks or anything like that. I'm not going to be clicking on anything that has leaks. Part one was good. It was good. I think it's the weakest episodes that we've gotten, but to be fair, it's not a full season. It's, you know, I think Silver crash. Like Silver will get in a car crash. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. Um, what do I think about Mr. Miyagi's backstory? I thought Mr. Miyagi's backstory was good. It's concerning to me. It really does concern me, and I've had this opinion on my spoiler review. I first watched it. That's what I've told everybody that's ever asked me about this. Is I said if they end the backstory right now, then I think it's bad, and I think it disappoints his character, the legacy of Mr. Miyagi, who has such an amazing legacy. However, his backstory is not over yet, and I think it could tie into part two and part three very well. And if it does that, then I think it could end up being a really good storyline. But right now, if they leave it off like how it is in part one, then I don't like it. I think it's a bad storyline. I think it hurts Mr. Miyagi's legacy, Mr. Miyagi's character, which I think is a great character that they shouldn't have touched. But if you have a good story behind it and you add on to it in part two and you add onto it in part three, then I think it could be a phenomenal storyline. Depends how it goes, but I definitely have hope in John, Josh, and Hayden. I don't think they've ruined Miyagi's character at all. So I definitely have some major faith in them. So I don't think it'll end there, and I think it'll end up being a good storyline overall. Um, I watched your spoiler review before I watched part one. What? That's actually really fun. I don't know why you did that, but I appreciate it. Thank you for watching the spoiler review. If you guys have not watched the spoiler review, I enjoyed making it. Made it a while ago. I haven't watched it for a while. Well, I haven't watched it at all really. But if you guys want to go watch it, it's one of my recent videos. If you want to go check that out. Saikai Taikai going to be brutal. I think it will be. I mean, if Mr. Miyagi had all that blood on his headband, then yeah, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. And I'm excited to see where that Mr. Miyagi backstory goes and with the Saikai Taikai and everything. Apparently, they said they addressed the Mr. Miyagi story backstory in part three. I'm glad about that. I'm glad about that. Yeah, because Mr. Miyagi's stories is I'm just nervous about it because I love Mr. Miyagi and I don't want that to affect him at all. Um, this is the first time Netflix has done 3 parts. Oh, is it really? I didn't know that actually. I mean, because we've seen them do 2 parts before, or 2 volumes. I didn't know this was the only time they've done 3 parts, but that's actually good to know. Should they have made it 2 parts? I started to think so a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm not gonna call it out yet because it's just kind of crazy waiting 4 months for 5 episodes. It just seems kind of ridiculous to me. But um, we'll see. I guess I think it could definitely. Kwon is probably gonna get under Robbie's skin. Yes, Kwon. Oh my gosh, he is such a good character. I talked about that in the spoiler review. He is exactly what I was looking for in Cobra Kai to give Cobra Kai a big threat because we didn't know any of the new students, and they made Kwon a really good threat against Robbie Miguel. I absolutely loved Kwon. I think he is one of, if not the MVP of Part One, and I think there's a lot to build on with his character. I think he's a good character, and I'm excited to see where he goes in part two and part three. I think he has a chance to beat Robbie Miguel, and I love that. I'm thinking that, and I believe that because it adds depth to Cobra Kai as a whole, and the villains and antagonists are competitive and scare him. So yeah, I love Kwon. I can't be on my computer for more than 5 minutes without it shutting off. If you guys don't already know, freaking my computer shuts off so gosh damn much. It's actually ridiculous. It shut off like 5 or 6 times in one stream. I'm not even kidding. Oh my gosh, I played the wrong thing. It's my fault. I'm gonna get it back set up, but I'm gonna join my phone for a little bit. I always have my phone ready to go because you froze, buddy. I'm aware. How about, oh my gosh, how about that Sensei Johnny opened Cobra? Johnny joined Daniels. Yeah, I don't know. You need a new PC or repair it? Yes, I do need a freaking new PC. My gosh, this is brutal. And my freaking phone will not stay up. My gosh, my fault. Alright, we're good. Need longer episodes within the parts. I completely agree. I think these episodes were way too short. I think they were around like 30 to 40 minutes, which I think is absurd. So yeah, I completely agree. Freaking everyone left. Alright, hold on. Golly. Alright. It's restarting right now. I apologize. At least we know Chozen will be back. Yes, we do know Chozen's going to be back from official photos that Netflix put out, which I'm excited about because Chozen, I'm sorry, that pacing was so bad. Like, they didn't even address that Chozen had, left. Like, I freaking forgot he left for Okinawa completely, as a whole after I watched it for the second time. So, I didn't even catch it, to be honest. Honestly, they should have done 4 parts because it's the end of a legacy. Like 20 episodes. I mean, if they're going to do 20 episodes, they might as well just do 2 more seasons, to be honest. But, maybe. The Kwon dating Tory? Yeah, no, I don't think so. Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense to me at all, to be honest. We need Robbie to win the Sekai Taikai. Yes, my boy Robbie does need to win the Sekai Taikai. He truly does. He has been a person that has just been hammered. That sounds really wrong. But he's a guy that's just, took beatings left and right and come in second place. He deserves to win the Sekai Taikai, and I think that'd be good writing if he did. I think I'm going to watch part 2 at school on November 15th. Yeah, I'm going to have to too. Or no, actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stay up late. I've done it before when season 5 came out. That was that Friday. So I just stayed up all night and it was brutal during the next day of school, but it is what it is. I think Robbie beats Kwon to win the second Taikai, and Sam beats Tory to win the girls' division. Ooh, that'd be interesting. That'd be very interesting. We need Kwon to win. I love Kwon. I do hope he wins. He better not get a freaking redemption arc. It seems like every character is getting a redemption arc. I didn't think Kyler deserved a redemption arc, except I did. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of liked it, but at the same time, I just felt like he was a character that didn't need necessarily a redemption arc, yet they gave him one. But that's not something I'm gonna die over the hill on and complain about. Well, I just did, but whatever. It would have been embarrassing if Robbie lost to Miguel 3-0. Yeah, it would have been. I'm glad Robbie beat Miguel, though. I think that was good riding, to be honest. Hope Miguel wins the Sekai Taikai. I mean, Robbie will compete in the finals if they do get to the finals. So unless Robbie is hurt or something, but yeah. Rank your favorite season from worst to best. So to be honest, I have part 1 and last so far, but again, season 6 could end up being the best season. There's still another 10 episodes, so for all I know, it could by far be the best. But as of right now, I'll say number 1, season 3, number 2, season 5, number 3, season 1, number 4, season 5, then season 2, and then part 1 of season 6. But I truly do believe season 6 will be my favorite season by the end of it, because I have high hopes in part 2 and part 3 being extremely good. Seeing Miguel and Cobra Kai is sad. Yeah, going back and like watching old seasons, like during the rewatch I had, it was like tough to see, um, Miguel just be a brutal a-hole at the end of season 1. To be honest, season 6 has potential to be the best season for sure. It hasn't started off as the best, but it could definitely finish off being the best. I mean, part 1 I think is has high. I think part 2 has high potential, and I think part 3 has to be good, or I don't even know what to do with myself if part 3 is not good, bro. Do you think Johnny Lawrence and Miguel creates a new dojo? Nah, I don't. To be honest, that seems they should just stay in Miyagi though. Season 6 is the worst season. So far, I honestly, unfortunately, have to agree with you on that. Um, it's still an amazing season, and I love the first batch of episodes. But to Cobra Kai standard, which I hold a Cobra Kai standard really high, then I'd have to agree with you. I'd have to agree with you on that. Joining on my computer right now. Sorry it took so gosh dang long. My apologies on that. Miyagi-Do winning the second attack guy would be a good ending. It would be, but what I'm confused about is Miyagi-Do, like, is the second attack guy going to be both parts? I don't think so. Boom, back on the computer. Let's go. Finally. Sorry about leaving off the computer for a second. Gosh dang, PC is so busted. It's so bad. Like, it's actually so old, and PCs cost so much money that I'm not freaking. I'll upgrade at some point. Some of it may spill into episode 11. Yeah. Did you see the new podcast from Cholo? The Lone Lobos? I have not seen the new episode. To be honest, I don't watch all that much of it. Like, I'll watch an episode occasionally, and I enjoy it every time I do watch it. But, I just am busy a lot of the time, so I don't end up watching as much as I would like to. Imagine if Miguel joins Cobra Kai. What would be your reaction? I'd be pissed, to be honest. I would not be happy. I just think that'd be dumb if he goes back, because that kind of reverts every character arc he's had from season 2, and that kind of erases it and makes it bad. Same with Johnny, but yeah. Tory joining Cobra Kai makes no sense. It does make sense. Okay, let me explain this to you. I fought with, if you guys don't know, Cobra Kai Karate Multiverse Film, I've fought with them for so long. It makes total sense that she'd be in Cobra Kai. And people are saying, what is her mother dying? Sorry, I don't know. I have this comment pulled up. What does her mother dying have to do with her joining Cobra Kai? Because when you experience loss and trauma like that, then you do impulsive decisions, like joining Cobra Kai is an impulsive decision. And we already know Kreese is a master manipulator, and he definitely manipulated Tory. And I think that part made complete sense why she joined Cobra Kai. It's a good cliffhanger. It's a good story writing. If people don't like it, that's fine. But I think it's an amazing storyline. And I think with Tory coming back to Miyagi-Do eventually, then I think it's a perfect storyline. I think it'll be very good. But yeah, I understand where people are coming from, that, she just joined and now she's going back. It's annoying. I understand that. But at the same time, it makes sense. Kreese is a master manipulator. He's Tory just experiences trauma and loss. And once she overcomes that, then I think she'll understand what she's doing, and she will go back to Miyagi-Do. And from her perspective, Terry Silver's Cobra Kai and John Kreese's Cobra Kai are completely different. Yeah, she had some problems with Kim Do-eun. That I understand that would be a little weird. But her Cobra Kai is John Kreese's. Terry Silver and John Kreese's were very different, and she did not like Terry Silver's. She was unhappy with John Kreese's, but she was also extremely unhappy with how Daniel and Johnny treated her in Miyagi-Do, which, I mean, they treated her good. It was just, that last bit when they didn't let her fight. And if they let her fight, I think she would have stayed in it. But, she's experiencing loss. She's obviously crazy and not understanding. So to me, it makes perfect sense. I don't know why people are saying it doesn't, but it is what it is. Sorry, my app sesh is done. The Kreese part makes sense. Kim Jong-un doesn't make sense. I agree with that. What also doesn't make sense is Kreese just vanished, like going back into the U.S. After he's a wanted man. He gets flights to the U.S. from South Korea as a wanted man. How do you book flights and go back to the country just to have one conversation with a 18-year-old girl to try to get her to join your karate dojo in South Korea after you're a wanted man that people are currently looking after you, and you're booking flights back to the United States after you somehow, and we don't even know how he got there in the first place, but however he got there, and he's coming back to talk to her for a minute, and she gets mad and she leaves. He goes and risks it all for a 5-second conversation that he could have had over the phone. What? He's a wanted man. He is a wanted man in the U.S. How are you booking flights? How are you going on a plane? They make a background check on you. You have to put in your ID. You have to show all this info to show that you are a U.S. citizen to go back to America. So how on earth is he doing that? I wish we had some decent explanation. They just kind of left that out of there, which I hate because it just seems very unrealistic and stupid to me. So yeah, sorry. I know that was a rant, but that kind of pissed me off. I don't understand how he's doing that. But do you think Daniel and Johnny will actually stop working together after the tournament or come to terms? Yeah, so there was a scene which Johnny says, or no, it was who was it? Was it Daniel that said after the Sekataikai tournament, we're done, which I didn't like. I just feel like this bickering between the two has just gone on too long, to be honest. And it is what it is. I think for sure they'll end up being on good terms. And if it doesn't, I think that's a disappointing ending because, the point of Cobra Kai was to reconcile with people, or reconcile relationships between Daniel and Johnny, or one of the points, I guess. And if you don't do that, I think that kind of, is disappointing in many ways. So I definitely hope we see Daniel and Johnny reconcile, and I think we will for sure. For sure. I don't think Tori's doing it out of spite. She's doing it for herself. Nothing personal about. I agree. I mean, she has her thing with Robbie too, which I don't even know what's going on. Yeah, but that's true. She needs the tournament win because she feels she has no future. When Daniel stopped that fight, she figured they were going to give it to Sam no matter what. Kreese is offering a captain do-rag. That's true. Kreese was just offering the captain spot where Daniel was, I know he wasn't, but Daniel was kind of seeming like he was favoring Sam and he wanted Sam to win more than anything and kind of cheating at it, which I don't think he was, but it could be perceived that way is what I should say. Kreese is freaking Thanos, apparently. That's very true. Kreese kind of was Thanos in this. It was like, yeah, I don't know how he's like doing all that, but I'll pull up. Yeah, I think the whole point of the show is to bend relationships, and if they don't do that by the end, I'm doubling thumbs up ratings. Double down on Netflix. Yeah, it would be very disappointing if Johnny and Daniel don't end up on good terms, but there's no way they don't, and I think that's just conflict to add more to the show because I think they've kind of, for part one, to make it 15 episodes, they were kind of running low on ideas. at least for part one. And I think part two and part three will be different because they have so much to pack into it. But yeah, I think for sure they will end up on good terms, and if it doesn't, that's ridiculous. But I don't think there's any way they don't. Let me. I'm pulling up something we could. Oh wait, they don't have it. I was gonna do a tier list maker on episodes for season 6. So I guess I'll just do them right here. I want to hear you guys' ranking on all 5 episodes of part 1. My ranking, I think, that I have right now is number 1. My favorite episode of part 1 is episode 4 with Mike Barnes. I love that. Episode 2, the second best is episode 1. Then episode 5, then episode 2, and then episode 3. I just thought the pacing for the last 2 were disappointing and kind of weird. I mean, we saw Kreese choking Daniel, and then we cut to a scene of Brooks partying at a frat party. The pacing was just kind of weird throughout those 2 episodes, which isn't normal for Cobra Kai because I love their pacing and I think they've had great pacing. But this one was just different and just kind of weird, I felt, and kind of poor. But I have a strong feeling that they'll get back to good pacing in part 2 and part 3, because I think part 2 and part 3 will end up making season 6 the best season. I have high hopes for part 2 and part 3 completely, and I don't think it'll disappoint. And I think season 1 or part 1 kind of disappointed, but it was really just setting up for part 2 and part 3. And now that we're at part 2 and part 3, I think it won't disappoint at all. So, yeah. It's so hard to decide who wins this tournament because you have Robbie, who hasn't won any tournament, Sam, who hasn't won, but Tory needs it so much, and Miguel, the main character, out of them. That's true. It is, I think Robbie should win no matter what because he's lost both of them. But yeah, Miguel is, I'd say, the main team character. And then I think it's Sam, Robbie, Tory, Miguel are all 4 of the main. But like if we're talking like one main out of the teens, it's Miguel. So I agree on that aspect. Sam hasn't won. I agree on that aspect as well. And Tory was also cheated out of the last. Or Tory got cheated on, or Tory cheated in her favor, but it wasn't her cheating. And Sam would have technically won. So there are a lot of complicated ways to solve it. So, yeah. I swear I get put out every time the stream for some reason. Oh, wait, do you get put in timeout? Oh, appreciate the super chat. Teddy G, $5. Really appreciate it. Keep up good work. Barnes takes over Miyagi-Do while they're overseas. Hey, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I mean, because Chozen's gone now, so we got Daniel and Johnny training the students and getting them ready for the Psych Attack guy. What happens to the rest of them? What happens to Kenny and Bert and all of them, and Nate and Chris? Or is Chris in? No, Chris isn't it. But yeah, that's a true point. I think Barnes would be awesome to take over those characters. That would be kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie. But I really do appreciate Teddy G for the $5. You're awesome, man. I really do appreciate it. Shame and Hawk. Shame and Hawk in this sense. Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean shame? Wait, Shame and Hawk in a sense, but I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a major push. With Hawk, I don't know exactly what you're saying, but if I kind of understand it, Hawk fans, when I first watched it, I already knew like it was gonna be a roller coaster of emotions for him because we all know Hawk fans are kind of crazy. Not gonna lie, kind of crazy, but it was definitely a roller coaster because like he was out of the Psych Attack guy, he's back in the Psych Attack guy. He has all this other stuff going on, and it's definitely an interesting season for Hawk. But I think he had a good season overall. I don't think this is his best season, but it's hard to make every character their best season when every character is supposed to be having his best season in the last season. So I'd say Hawk will have more of a role in part 2 and part 3. I hope. I've unfortunately seen some leaks of Hawk in part 2 and 3 that I won't talk about. But yeah. But Kenny needs that major push in the next part because he got disrespected. Maybe he joined Silver or other dojo and the second attack guy. Did Kenny get disrespected? He for sure did. I agree with that. The whole Miralax Devin thing was, I just did not like that scene at all. I thought it was corny. I thought it was cringe. I didn't really like it. Kind of affected his character a little bit. And, it was wrong because, if you think about it, Kenny should, be a character that's very respected because, he was a good kid that got lured into Cobra Kai by Robbie's mistake and left him there, basically. I mean, try to bring him back, but that's how everyone sees it, and that's how Sean saw it. And yeah, I hope Kenny does get in the second attack guy and joins. Yeah, I think he should be in the second attack guy, and I think he should have a good ending arc. Is my hope for him. I hope we get a Kreese for a silver fight. Me too. Bro, a Kreese for a silver fight would be amazing, and I think, I think that's a fight to the death, and I think, the only way you redeem Kreese is if Kreese sacrifices himself, which would be a very cool ending. I love Cobra Kai so much. I love Cobra Kai too. For sure. Let me pull up. Kenny getting destroyed by Hawk. Yeah, Kenny shouldn't have won in season, what was it? 5, Kali. I don't know why I struggled with that season so much. But yeah, Kenny should not have won in season 5, and he did. So I think Hawk should beat him in season 6, just to kind of redeem Hawk a little bit. I want to point this out. We are 447 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers, which is absolutely blows my mind. My goal is to get 10,000 before school starts. That'd be very cool. But appreciate everyone that's gotten to this point, 9,553. It's absolutely absurd that we're at this point. So I appreciate every single one of you guys that subscribed. But we're so close to 10K as well, and I appreciate all of you guys for doing that. If you're not already subscribed, I would appreciate if you guys subscribed and gotten to 10K, which would be awesome. Red hair isn't even this strong. People glaze it just because you beat Brock. Yeah, I'd say season 6 Hawk would be season 2 red hair Hawk. I agree, but let's be honest, Hawk was the coolest in that red. He was just kind of crazy. I wonder if Julie returns in part 2 or part 3. Yeah. I've seen some theories about how the Miyagi backstory could lead to Julie Pierce. I don't understand how it would lead to Julie Pierce at all. But, at some point, I hope they tie Julie Pierce into it. I think she's an interesting character to bring in for the final season for a little bit, even if it's not a major role, a minor role, just to acknowledge her and her connection with Mr. Miyagi would be beneficial, I think, to the story. Inside the dojo video on Netflix, you can see Ron characters Zara Malik in another dojo. Do you think Terry Silver will have another dojo in the second tag guy? Ooh, Terry Silver coming out of jail to have another dojo in the second tag guy would be awesome. That'd be awesome. I don't know how he'd escape jail. I don't know how he'd get to where is it? Is it Paris? Wait, where's the second tag? That's the Olympics. Where the Barcelona? My gosh. Spain. It's in Barcelona, Spain. My gosh. I was thinking Paris because of the Olympics. I'm sorry. But I hope they make more sense than Kreese going in between countries. But yeah, if they brought Silver in on the Psycho Attack guy in part 2. I'd love that. And he has his own dojo students. That'd be awesome. That'd be so cool. I also want Sean to come back. I saw someone and I forgot to reply to it. I would love to have Sean back. Sean is one of my favorite characters. You know, part 1, we saw a bit of him in the first episode. Didn't see him after that. You know, I think we'll get some storyline on Kenny's dad because I feel like they've been building that up a little bit. And hopefully we get him eventually, and that'll show Sean as well. But yeah, I hope we get something on Sean in part 2 and part 3. That better not be the end of his character because I love Sean. I love his character and don't think we've seen enough of him. So yeah, I love Sean. He's red, white, and blue Hawk. Yup. Hawk's haircut is very interesting in season 6. It's very interesting. Probably it's weird looking, but it's also so awesome at the same time. I like it overall. I think it's cool. Forgot Hawk existed in part 1. I wouldn't say that. I mean, they gave him a whole new haircut. They added some good storylines to him. I wouldn't say they forgot him. Like it seemed like they kind of did in season 5, but part 1, yeah, he didn't get as much screen time as I would have wanted. But I don't think it's like if they let's not compare it to like how he was forgotten in season 5. And we still got 10 episodes of season 6, so I don't think he'll be all that forgotten. Kenny deserved better. Justice for Kenny, man. Justice for Kenny. But we've been on stream for about 38 minutes now. I'm going to get off. I'm about to post a new video about 20 minutes, 30 minutes, around that. I haven't fully edited, and it's in YouTube right now. I just have to make it public. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to head off stream. Appreciate everyone that joined. And I'm going to stream soon, so I'll see you guys later. And check out the new video. It's going to come out in a minute. Appreciate you all.